What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI Auto Business. It's Thursday, time for Dispatching Live. My name is Jay. We are going to do a little bit of news. We're connecting retail, wholesale, logistics, and tech, your auto transport community media since 2017. Thanks so much for jumping in. Please do feel free to leave a like and share and copy and tell your friends. Leave a comment below if you missed the show live. Oh, no, that was Tuesday night. We don't have a show lineup tonight. That was Tuesday night. So on Thursday, it's Dispatching Live. Thirsty Thursdays. Whatever. It is Thursday. Let's bring in Sue. Hey, Sue. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh, pretty good. I was reminded that, just 1 week off
I
feels
know.
like a long time.
Forever. It does.
It's weird.
It is weird.
Super weird. But we're lucky. We've been looking forward to this show. We got Repo car hauling with Rob.
Yep.
So Rob's in his truck standing by, and that's right. We're gonna do a show where we feature car hauling again. So this is the show. If you are in auto transport, if you're a driver, if you're a hauler, you're loading, you've been watching YouTube videos, you are thinking of getting in or getting out, or you're just going flat out sideways, this is the show. And so what Rob does is he, do you want to say what Rob does?
Well, he owns a repo car company. And he also does a little bit of everything in the industry. So he's a great person to talk to for advice, for anything like that. So
Yeah, right. Oh, and I think he's gonna share contact info. So mic check 1 2 3. If somebody wanted to get a hold of Rob, I think he's gonna have that too. So let's do this. Well, before I do the waiver, I think we're gonna cancel the waiver soon. Oh, that's Rob, by the way. And that's a Hummer he loaded the other day on his flatbed. So I think he's got an assortment of gear as well.
yes, he does.
Flatbed, right?
And I think he's got several trucks underneath him as well, from
Which
what I
is cool. So
understand.
you can
So,
talk
yeah.
equipment with Rob.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
all right, let's do this. Dang it. I'm telling you, I think we're near the end of this waiver, but we'll just do it anyways.
Okay.
And another bell. Please be aware that views and analysis provided on Dispatching Live relate to the auto transport industry as a whole and may not relate directly to ATI Auto Business, Auto Transport Intel, any affiliates, advertisers, or audience members. All viewers and participants of this content expressly waive any rights during this live program, whether in voice, chat, comment, video, or audio, have been advised and encouraged not to say or express any opinions that may relate to ATI Auto Transport may not feel like they have the right to do so. See, we've run the tape so many times it's starting to wear out. Okay. Hey, you feel strange? That's the Dispatching Live effect. You're getting truth live or on demand, and it's, we don't really follow all the rules. But this is automotive, because you can do whatever you want. We'll talk about that in a bit. Auto transport community media since 2017. You know that ATI has been here long before COVID. Long before you had long COVID, you had ATI. We look at the full ecosystem, new, used, auction, dealer, OEM services. Yep, brokers are here too. Yep, dispatchers are here too. Carriers that don't like either are here. Okay. We did Dispatching Live's Carrier Vetting for All. That was our last show. That was 2 weeks ago. That was interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Have you been back to it?
I haven't been back to it yet.
Yeah, I know. See, this is the thing about life.
No.
This is actually, you know what? That's really good for me. I'm going to tell you why. A lot of people, they make a podcast. And then they're like, oh, made the podcast. Yeah, you're going to need to do like 10 of those. Before, because people, you don't just make one show and then everybody's on board. Life isn't, shoot. There are things you're paying for that you're not even you're using. Right?
True that.
We all have subscriptions to some software we're not even using.
Yeah. Everywhere.
We just haven't taken the time to cancel it.
Yeah, until you get the bill on your thing,
Right?
and then you're like, oh,
Isn't
crap.
that funny? That one day you're looking at your credit card bill and you're like,
What is that?
is that?
Yeah.
And then you
Is
realize
it
you've been
too
paying
late to
for it for
cancel?
10 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is what we did Tuesday night. No, I want to talk about website traffic data for just a second.
Okay.
And that is that if we have a website, how many people are embarrassed by their websites?
Oh, I'm sure a lot.
I'm not even happy with mine yet. My
Yeah,
website.
I mean, I'm not embarrassed by it. I wish I knew more to make it cooler, I guess.
Ooh, there you go. Well, so Tuesday night we were talking about, all right, so when it comes to figuring out what would make your website better, one of the ways is to measure your traffic and see what's happening.
Right.
How long are they sticking around? What are they doing? What pages are they going to? And that's kind of what. So it wasn't this boring, crusty show about website analytics and data. It was about learning how to make a better website. It was cool. We talked about marketing, and Dana from Auto Hauler Exchange was on. We had a digital marketing gal from Chastang Ford. She was in the panel. It was a cool show. It's neat. So I wanted to share that. Ecosystems neutral zone. We'll cover it all. Dispatchers, brokers, drivers, auction reps, CEOs. Guy in the corner office that doesn't have any idea, what we're talking about. Show Me the Truck is up next. Oh, and I'm moving quickly too because we're only 8 minutes away from bringing in Rob. We're gonna move faster. Everything's moving faster. Mercury retrograde is moving faster, so we're gonna move faster too. Somebody sent this in. It's a sign of the times. You got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. And sometimes, right here, you got to do what you got. Yeah. I actually saw a shoot, man. I don't remember where I
I
saw
can't
this.
seriously be legal height,
I know,
right?
right?
On that other one.
And I saw this. I don't know if it was a video or a
Oh,
photo. I can't remember. I can't believe I didn't
oh
screenshot it.
my good Lord. Yeah, that's not legal.
There was a flatbed with all they had done. What they had brand new cars. Oh yeah, fancy rims and all this stuff. Over the wheel straps, great. But they had taken little uh, flip screw washer deals and just zip screwed the straps into the flatbed. Basically,
Wow.
as someone in the comments that said, you hit a good speed bump and those cars are gone. Yeah, it was amazing. That's where we're at. So, let's break it down. Um, OOIDA released this market report, and it's not good. And in fact, I'm going to share here. OOIDA Trucking Market Report. You know why our views are so low? Because everybody got out of trucking. Okay, so okay. Um all right. So signs of an upward turn don't exist. Expect current trends to continue. Flat rates, high operating costs, soft volume, soft demand, lose capacity. Load to truck ratio fell. I mean, this is just, if you want to, stand on the diving board without any water in the pool and read this report. It goes through the different, flatbed, reefer. There's really not much good news in here. That's why I highly recommend reading it. And then even just trucking employment numbers overall were down because of the Yellow Corp closing its doors. Which, when you read about why Yellow closed its doors, actually, we're considering, when I say we here at ATI, we're considering doing a in-depth Yellow Corp closing report. It's not good. I mean, it's just, the business model became robbing Peter to pay Paul. How many business models in trucking are rob Peter to pay Paul?
Uh,
Right?
Yeah.
Right. That's
Yep.
not, man, that's that dispatching live effect I was talking about. Right? Man, it's brutal.
It is.
Um, and so if you click the link I put in the live chat, OOIDA Trucking Market Report, you get this report. It's free. And I recommend everybody should get this because there are places out there that are charging for trucking market reports. This one's free. What do you think they say a bunch of different things? No. Speculation live. Let's see here. Oh, and that's where somebody sent this in. Dispatching in 2019 versus dispatching today.
Should have been 2020, and that when COVID hit, that's when we got
I
all
know,
kinds of great
right?
rates. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. But 2019 was pretty good, right?
Yeah. 2020 after the COVID thing was fantastic, though.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Right. Dispatching when COVID hit,
Yeah.
dispatching after we all got COVID.
Well, dispatching after about 3 months, COVID hit. Then there we go. Because that first month, or month or two, right? Everybody was shut down. About a month, I think. Most of
Yeah.
my guys stayed on the road. I
And
think we only.
how hey, so let's do our comparison. Uh from the heyday of right after COVID to now.
Mhm.
How are people doing?
Horrible.
It's bad, isn't it?
It's bad, bad. I
I
mean, we
know.
thought COVID was bad after when they shut us down for what was it? I think it was they only shut us down for like a week, I think is what it was for the actual transporters. But then it took about a month for the competition when they realized that there was nobody out on the road. They had to pay us whatever we wanted to be paid to move these cars. Then it has slowly because that's when we were in the heyday of like 75,000 75,000 loads. I mean, it was just unreal. And now,
Well,
yeah,
and now there's still quite a few loads. It's just that the rates are too
just
low, right?
right. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
today it was at 32,193. And I think the last time I we did it was like 30,000. So it's staying consistent, but it's not good loads. I mean, either the loads don't pay enough or it's not even that. There's not enough loads going in the same direction or, that kind of
Oh,
thing.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I just put in what's your route scout. Let's do some route scout after we bring in Rob, which will
Okay.
be kind of after the half hour.
Okay.
Just want to give a shout out. Car hauling with Chip is here. Peach Transport's here. Rob Stevenson, Jared Shepard, Chris Chamberlain. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, saying hello. Um, yeah, we need to search some loads. It seems like it's been a while. But,
Yeah.
all right, so before we leave this topic, though, okay.
Okay.
So, all right, seasonally, December sucks, anyways.
Right. From usually the end of August, mid-August till the 1st of January. This is
Right,
normal, basically.
right.
But I think it's worse as far as rates go. They just keep chopping them.
Yeah,
And usually after the first of the year, usually we're between, I would say the first week to the last week of January, that's when this things start going back up. Now, that did not happen last year. We've been in a slump pretty much the whole year. We've had like a week here and there that are fabulous, but then the rest are just like, you know, it's hard to survive on
well, it is. Well, and so could we say the rates are low because demand is low,
hmm
capacity is low,
hmm
right?
Absolutely. They don't like I talk to my owners
Capacity's
that
tight.
buy cars all the time. They're having a hell of a time just finding cars to sell. And we all know why. It's because the interest rates are so high. So you're going to sit on your car. You're not going to go buy a new car because who can afford it? I mean, they go like my interest rate on my car was four something. And now if I wanted to refinance it, they're offering me at like 9, 10%. And I've got
Wow,
excellent credit. I'm like at 800. So,
wow.
explain me that, unless you're just super rich and just want a
Well,
car, you
see,
know.
okay, and I'm glad you said. See, that's the thing. There is super rich somewhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a lot of that. But
There,
that's
there
not
must
your
be.
average.
Right? It's not.
Huh?
No, it's not.
And they're still moving what I would call like these rich people cars they're trying to do it for 50 cents a mile, sometimes less than
Ah,
that.
exactly. So the rich
It,
people cars don't even pay what they should.
no, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's based on the rich person. I think that's based on the broker
And
looking what's on the board
anybody,
and just going with the
well, yeah,
flow. And you
well, there
can't
you
do
go.
that.
Well, and this, think of the brokers. I mean, we've talked about this. There's thousands of brokers.
Hmm.
How are you going to compete with
Right.
another thousand? You have to lower the rate. What else
Right.
can you do?
Right.
I mean, I know that service. I don't want to discount
Service and
everybody's
stuff.
business.
Right.
Of
Right.
course, there's relationships and
Yes.
service, and there are other
Right.
elements. But there's going to be a lot of people that are just going to be like, listen,
Yeah.
what's the best price you could give me?
Well, and you figure you take a big broker, theirs is based on volume. So they're getting 1,000 loads in, I'm just saying, a day. Even if they only take a 25 or $50 broker fee by lowering their fees, which we don't know if they're doing that. I'm just giving it as example. But if they have 1,000 loads, add that up. That's your difference between a little broker like me and somebody that can do the volume and lower those rates down. And that's what they're doing. If you figure that, you have to look at it that way. The bigger companies are usually the ones that lower our rates down because they have the volume.
More good news is on the way. Stick around. After this, we'll be live with Rob and Repo Car Hauling. We'll be right back.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verifications of loads where nobody ever answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021, or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
That's Murphy Auto Transport Services. My co-host Sue, she's here with me now. And if you have a question for her, she runs a fully licensed brokerage and she can help you stay loaded. Oh, you have spots available. Okay, well, why don't you do this while I bring up your information? Describe what spots available means.
I have a couple spots open for if you need a dispatcher. So, and I actually have a guy that actually prefers the bigger car haulers. So I've got a spot for a big car hauler. And then I always have 3, 4, 5s available. And I have one spot in that section. I have one spot in the other one. So if anybody's interested or need anything, please give us a call, 417-273-0021. And we can talk to you about our services and send you over a packet if you're interested.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And I whiffed it on the audio. Just ahead of it. I got the rest of it. Just kind of jumped in there. I'm just full disclosure. Sue has room if you're looking for a dispatcher. So there's information in the live chat. Now Rob is almost at a stopping point, but Rob, you're fine. Are you ready to? Can I bring you in?
Sure.
Sure. All right. Here we go. Please do help us. Wish a very warm welcome to Rob Stevenson. Here, first time on Dispatching Live. How you doing, Rob?
Hey, Rob.
Hey.
Looks like you're having fun.
Not really, but it is what it is.
No Porsche pulling today.
No. You're right about that. We're getting ready to buy one now.
Oh, yeah. Use it as a pull towing truck.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, Rob, I've got you on screen. Do me a favor. I know you're still driving, and we can hear you. Just have to project a little bit. But tell us who you are and what you're doing.
My name's Rob Stevenson, part owner in carstowing.com. Basically, we do everything from campers to airplanes, trucks. We do it all. We can haul pretty much anything, heavy equipment, all that good stuff. So my main job today is I'm taking a van that we repoed from a company to the auction. We make keys. do auction transports, we do regular towing, roadside. Pretty much we do it all.
Wait.
All right, Sue, you take over the interview.
Well, I know Rob does a lot of stuff. I've been talking to Rob for what, at least a couple years now, right?
Yeah, it's been that long.
Yeah. And I don't even remember how we met. Someone gave you my name or something?
I think we met on that show. I've been watching
Oh, maybe.
Jay for a long time. So
Okay. All right,
yeah.
there we go. And I know he's done this stuff for a long, long time. And every once in a while, you'll give me one that's not in your area to get moved and stuff like that. And he'll give me great
Absolutely.
stories that are crazy. That's what we were talking about, the Porsche. This guy used a Porsche to pull a car up onto the trailer.
Oh,
Wrapped it
that
up.
story.
Yeah, that story.
I should have never let him on the lot, but whatever. It is what it is. I made him sign my paperwork before he pulled it up there. That's for sure.
Hey, recap the story in case anybody missed it.
Go ahead, Rob.
So basically, transporter called to get a vehicle off of our lot, and he showed up with a 3-car trailer. I had told his dispatcher, broker, or whoever it was that called me. I said it does not run. It does have keys, and it does not run. And basically, they sent a transporter with no winch and a 3-car hauler. And I said, well, I can help you get it up there with my winch on the tow truck. And he said, no, I got it. Next thing I know, he pulls out a tow strap that is used to strap a car down. He had a Porsche Carrera, brand spanking new, on the second car on, and he pulled it up there with that. I mean, it was impressive, but dangerous. But,
Didn't know Porsche could do anything like that.
yeah, I gotta get me one of them.
Right. It actually turns into a great story. Things you didn't know you could do with your Porsche.
There you go.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off Part 2.
But I'll tell you what, that thing pulled it right up there. I don't know how much damage he did underneath.
That was a Ferrari.
Whatever.
Right. Okay, yeah, okay, good. What do you think, what damage do you think has happened because of doing that?
You know, I don't even know. Like I said, my concern was with my car that I was releasing to him. I had him sign off on my paperwork, and I said, you do what you want. I'll stand by to make sure that car doesn't roll down into my building. But that's pretty much, I don't know.
Right. It's your lot. This is good. This is the reverse angle. It's your lot, right?
Correct.
You're releasing this repo to him for transport.
Correct.
So you're getting to see through the eyes. You can see through both eyes. You can see through the repo agent's eyes and the transport eyes, which apparently seem to be different points of view quite often.
Right, absolutely. So, but yeah, we get some weird ones on there. Like I said, as long as our insurance is correct, and that releases our liability too. So,
hey, are you doing site entry agreements?
Oh yeah.
Basically, when they call to qualify the load, we'll have them send us a copy of their insurance, and depending on who it is, if it's a bigger carrier. Once you do that, and you've been to our lot once or twice, then all you got to do is call us, come pick it up, as long as we have that certificate on file.
Okay.
That just limits up, liability wise. If they get hurt or whatever, or they pull a car up with a Porsche and it breaks,
You're not
that's not on
responsible.
us. Oh my goodness, you would not believe some of the transporters that come up there, but it is what it is.
Have you seen an increase in repos?
Yes.
Okay.
These banks are taking a beating, which is why the interest rates are sky high now, even people with 800 credit scores.
Yeah.
So the turnaround for repos on our lot is 1 day or 2 days. These banks are coming to get them quick.
Wow.
So with this one in particular, I can't show you the vehicle itself because it's got the company's name that we repoed it from, but this is a 2021 Ram ProMaster. We got 18 of them from them.
Wow.
And the bank said, as soon as you get it, clean it out, send us all the paperwork, we'll release it, take it to the auction. So we repo it, we do the condition report, and we take them to the auction. So we're getting paid all the way around.
Well, that's
interesting. Right? We usually think of individuals.
Yeah. Don't think
18
of
from one
businesses.
company, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
So as
Whoa.
their drivers are done with them, we're doing like one at a time. But basically, the long story short on this one was a grandmother had owned the transport company. She passed away. The granddaughter inherited it. Didn't know what she was doing. Just let everything go. So one bank was on the hook for
All of
18 of these things, and they're about $80,000 a piece.
Wow.
Wow.
Do you have any insight into how this pans out for the bank, for the granddaughter? I mean, you know what I mean?
So on this particular case, since the grandmother had signed for everything, you can't collect from the deceased person. So the bank just wants to recover their collateral as quickly as possible.
Gotcha.
So like I said, and I think some of the banks, they have what's called reinsurance or forced place insurance, which means as long as they get the vehicle back, or if they can't find it at all, they get made whole with this insurance company.
Sweet.
It's like a credit default swap that you had a long time ago, but when the banks got ruined with the housing.
Gotcha.
No way. I was just watching The Big Short yesterday.
Yes, that is a true story.
I know. That's an amazing movie.
It's true. It's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, so it's interesting. I find myself talking repo a lot more than I used to. Like 3 years ago, I think it was always negative.
Yeah.
Used Car Week was last month. I moderated a panel where we talked about repossession. I hung out with repo agents and owners. And in fact, I got a show coming up next month about repo in January about repo. It's become such a more prominent vertical as it touches automotive, auto transport, and
it's a necessary evil, is what it is.
It's a necessary evil, and it really reflects the market, right?
Right.
The economy, culture, in some ways.
It really does. And the banks have to make up their money somehow, so they're charging the people that do pay a higher interest rate, which I don't think is fair. What do you do? Unless you have the cash, which most people don't.
Right. Do you think that they're compared to, let's say, a year after COVID when they gave out all those loans for everybody? Are you seeing that from this, or do you think this is a different thing altogether for the new recession we're having? It's hard to say.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
Economy, right now with all the wars going on, nobody knows what the heck's going on, so everybody's kind of scared.
Right.
But then again, these banks are loose with their money because they got greedy. Right, they got greedy. Same thing with the housing market, years ago, and now they're getting burnt for it. People that really shouldn't even have a loan, they're giving them a $40,000-$50,000 loan, and these people are used to not being able to pay, so they ride for free till we get them, or whoever gets the assignment. I mean, it's crazy.
I'm going to jump in because that's what I do. I'm referee. I jump in the ring, and I want to say, well, it'd be tough. It could be tough depending on where you are in a bank's organization. On one hand, banks act very risky to make money.
Right.
But then they'll get very conservative once they see the risk for what it is, or they can stare down the barrel of consequences and risk. So having a bank as a client sounds pretty interesting.
It is pretty much, they have a algorithm that is built in when they loan people this money, depending on the credit score. 60% might default, 50%, depending on what the scale is. So and that's how they determine your interest rate. How likely is this guy to default or whoever? So, I repoed one the other night. They had the money, they just didn't pay. That's twice they've done that. And the guy came out and was like, my wife didn't make the payment. We got the money. They just kind of put it off on each other.
Get out of town. We have the money? How often does that happen? What?
Hey, man, can I write you a check? I mean, you could, but it's not going to do you any good.
Wow.
So are they able to get it back then? But they got to pay all these extra fees?
Redeem it, right?
Yeah, so she's getting it back. We got a bonus on that particular one because it was a higher loan amount that she owed.
Oh,
So
I'm not shocked. Yeah.
She's got to pay all that. Plus, she wants us to tow it back to her. So there's another $250. I mean, whatever. I mean, we'll tow it. You know, I told her it'd be cheaper for you to come get it. I said, no, we'll just tow it. So whatever.
Wow.
Crazy.
It's nice to have extra money, right?
Yeah. Right.
Honey, go over there. Go get in the towing jar. Just get it out of the towing jar.
Right. And apparently another company had picked them up a few months before. So it is what it is. I mean, so.
That's wild. Because what do we think of when we think of repo? We think of midnight, you know, shotgun ready to go. Somebody's gonna, you know, once you got it up on the lift, they're gonna jump in the Escalade and start shaking it and going crazy. That's what I think of.
That does happen.
That does
not
happen
all the
too.
time.
Okay.
Not all the time. I mean, I've been doing this 30 some years, and I've, you know, maybe had a handful of incidents. It's all about how you present yourself and how you treat the people if they come out. So,
well, that's now. I saw a webinar with this guy, Alex Skip Trace Guru. I don't know, and he was talking about lots of psychology. It sounds like there's a lot more psychology than we think.
It is, and that's what I tell my guys. If you treat people the way you want to be treated until they step out of line, then you know that's the way you should treat everybody. Because it could be one of us on the other end of this, you know, getting their car repossessed. I mean, it's, you know, back when I was younger, I didn't care, you know, but now I'm a little older. I don't have time for that shenanigans. But I just treat people how you want to be treated.
And it makes me think. We know that there's a lot of great transports where people are really happy,
right?
But then there are times where, whether on pickup or delivery, psychology is out the window, and you know that whether you've had a bad day, it's raining, you're cold, you're not paid enough, right?
Right.
You still can't. I guess you can't let that show.
Right. Right. Yeah. Exactly. So just because you're having a bad day, you know, and somebody talks to you out of the way or whatever, you know, you can't just pop off, because we have liability, we have banks we have to answer to, and that repo show that used to be on, if we acted like that, we wouldn't have any clients. I promise you that.
I have heard several companies say that repo show is not like, that's the extreme drama.
So this is true story. We were actually interviewed to be on that show. Okay. It came down to 3 companies, my company, the company out in California, one in Florida. And we had to send in all these audition tapes and stuff like that. And one of the reps, it was MTV, but they sold the show. They said, well, aren't you guys going to do anything more than just repo, any drama? And I said, if you're asking me to stage something, I'm not going to do that. And so they picked that up. So it's all entertainment drama.
And it's got to be true, because like, I don't know how many Housewives series are there.
A ton.
Right, and they're looking. That's what. It's that extreme drama.
Right.
Which I guess paints a negative picture then for the average viewer that doesn't know any better. So, repossession is what's your typical repo look like? I don't know. Is there one?
Depending on the client. If it's a prime lender, then sometimes it goes as planned. The hardest ones to get are doctors and attorneys that have all the money in the world, and they park their stuff behind a gate or inside the garage all the time. You really have to get them when you can get them, and then it's all kinds of drama. Oh, I'm going to sue you. Well, you can't make a $50 car payment, so go ahead. You know?
Yeah, why is a doctor and an attorney dodging car payments? Now there's a show.
Probably mismanagement of money. I don't know. But and like I said, a lot of them have the money. They just don't make the payment. I don't get that. But that's why we're in business, I guess.
Sue?
Yes, sir.
What do you think of that? I've not heard that one before.
I haven't either. That's crazy.
You know, society is strange the closer you look.
Right.
Wow.
But then if you go to a person that doesn't have anything to their name anyways, and that vehicle is the only thing that have a value, they're going to try to fight you to keep it. I mean, you know, they're going to hide it, or they're going to give it to another a relative and swap cars.
Yeah.
Well, we have the ability to run license plates. I can't tell you how many times I picked it up at a friend's house or a family member's house
Mm-hmm.
because the car that's sitting in the driveway belongs to a family member. Plus we have license plate readers and all that good stuff too. So I mean,
right, LPR. All right, so is this what keeps repo agents so busy? Is all the detective stuff?
That and like
Working
I
with the
said,
bank.
at any one given time, we have 300 to 600 open repo orders. Okay, wow. But we don't know how many companies these repos have been through before we get it.
Okay.
So that makes it hard for us because these forwarding companies, they have their own set of things. They don't like competition, so they're not going to share what another repo agent has updated the account. So if it gets closed with one forwarding agency and then we get it, we don't know what's been worked or nothing. So we're kind of starting from scratch. Wow. And you can pretty much tell the lender when they send over 3 or 4 different addresses, like, okay, this one's been skipped before and it's going to be hard to pick up. So now it's legwork and it's time consuming. Before we didn't get paid for our investigative time. Now we do on some of the banks.
Interesting. Could there possibly be more work opportunity in repossession than auto transport right now?
It's pretty much even. Look, there's plenty of work out there for everybody. So we actually enjoy competition because it keeps us on our game, and it's good for business. A lot of the banks, they don't care who picks the car up; they just want it picked up. So you're only as good as your last repo or your last transport or whatever. You can have all the clients you want, but if you're not picking anything up, they're gonna stop using you, and that's the bottom line.
All right. Well, let's do this. I know you're working. You've got to get back on track. I'm sure we've taken too much time as it is.
No, you're fine. I'm sitting here at the Loves waiting on fuel. So.
Oh, are you? This is This is the fuel island.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is it.
In fact,
yeah. Uh-oh.
See that?
It's a good thing. Hey, it's a good thing you don't have an EV.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That line would be way longer.
Right.
Let's do this. All right. If somebody's got a question, clearly you are down to earth. You know repossession. You know auto transport. You talk equipment. You've been doing this a long time.
Been doing it a long time. We have enclosed trailers, flatbeds. We have boat. Whatever needs hauled, we can do it. And if we can't do it, we're going to find a solution for you and call another company to help you out. I mean, like I said, I don't mind giving some of the work away if we can't, handle the customer. So
awesome. All right, so contact Rob. I'm gonna share. Rob, I'm gonna share. I know I've got. Let's see here. I've got a phone number, right?
Yeah.
That I can share. It's a 513 number.
Yes, and you should have the email and our website as well.
Okay, so contact Rob, 513-461-5230.
Correct. And if I don't answer right away, I'm out working, I will get back to you.
Yep. That's awesome. And then there's the email, rob@carsrepo.com. And then I'm going to pull... Right, cars-repo.com. And then I'm going to put the website link in the live chat as well. So if you are live or on demand, you want to talk to Rob, talk shop, ask questions, whatever it is, give him a call, send him an email. Rob, thanks, man.
No problem. Thank you.
Awesome. And we'll have you back sometime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, Sue, I might have one for you, so I'll call you after the show.
Awesome. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for being cool.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Rob. Have a good day.
See you guys.
Right on. All right, see you, man. Take care.
See you. Bye.
All right, we let him go. That was cool. Really cool to have Rob with us here today. And he means that if you need some advice.
Rob is a good guy, and he will help you out as much as he can. He really is.
That's really cool. Super nice guy. I've talked to him a few times now, and he is just really nice and knowledgeable, which is awesome. Great combination. Let's see here. Okay, so we got 20 minutes left. So even USPS, they're going to increase their rates a good 5+% starting in January, right? And everything just keeps going up, right? This is that inflation monster.
Yeah, that's. Well, I was like the other day, I went and bought something at the grocery store, and it's something I usually pay like $1 for, and it was up to like $4, and it was just crazy because it'd only been a couple of years ago, and it's just it's non-stopping.
Yeah, prices are out of control,
Yeah,
and but look at auto transport rates compared to what's happening in inflation. And this is why the UAW strike had a relevance for many of us, in that one of their claims, the thing is, they shouldn't have said we want to make what the CEO makes. That was not, you know, no one's ever going to make what the CEO makes. And the thing
right,
is, the truth is, most of us have no idea what the CEO goes through to be the CEO. We really don't know, right? We're
right,
speculating.
right,
Like, what? Akio Toyoda, the CEO of Toyota. I think he just stepped down. We have no idea what he's gone through in his life to be the
right.
CEO. So you can't say I want the CEO's money, even though it's
No,
1,000 times what you're getting.
right.
And I realize no one's going to give this speech, and no one cares, Jay. But there is a certain amount of we can't expect what, and sometimes you don't want. By the way, when it comes to total equality, you don't want to know what their level of stress is like. But anyways, it's tough enough to pay the bills. My point is, on the UAW strike, uh, needing a 20+% increase in pay for many probably just reflected keeping up with inflation to some degree. And the point is that in auto transport, and I don't even say it as much as I used to because it doesn't have an effect, I can't get a company to raise their rates. Big shocker,
Yeah,
right? And when I try to tell companies, and I do try, I mean, I do it when there's nobody around because I don't want to, you know, this isn't, gotcha television. But I've said to companies, there's several things about your company that seem great, but have you looked at some of the rates posted on load boards? And I don't get a lot of feedback. I'll say it because I know it and it's true and it doesn't change. Probably because if you ask 1,000 brokers if they're going to raise the auto transport rates, what can they say? They can't raise the rates. Their competition's not raising the rates. Let's have some fun. Welcome to Auto Transport, where you can do whatever you want. Hey, Sue, what is this? Another switcheroo company you can do it for? F no, I cannot. So
yeah.
they posted a rate. Speaking of
Mm-hmm.
rates, boy, we're right on time with this conversation. They posted the rate at 500.
Yep.
You called and said,
They wanted 400, and I said, not gonna happen. And I also told them, I said, there's another company that has it listed too. You can see the bar number in the appointment. And they said that they had the contract. Of course, they always tell you they have the contract, right? And I said, well, I'm not doing it for any less than the 500. Well, let me get a hold of your customer. That kind of stupid stuff. You know how that is. And I said, well, you can get a hold of them all you want, but unless I hear from you here in just a few minutes, my driver's leaving. I'm not going to stick around when it's double listed. And I don't want to say this, but I've been being dicked around by the other company since yesterday saying that they couldn't get this information. And guess what? It was at Copart too. So I needed a
oh,
PIN,
God.
all the usual stuff, or IA. It was one of
Oh,
those
man.
two, right?
Right.
And so they kept messing around, messing around. Well, I've got somebody who'll do it for the price I'm asking. I said, then let them do it. I'm not
Right.
doing it. You know what I mean? And so
This is
then an hour
classic
later,
poker.
yeah, an hour later, they're like, can you still do it? And I said, my driver left. I told you then that either you give me the price listed or we're out of there. And he's like, well, I'll get somebody to do it for the price. I said, well, good luck, because you have two people listing the same car and nobody has anything. So,
I mean,
anyways, yeah.
wow. So how many people are sitting in offices lying to each other right now? It's
Well, I
hundreds.
mean, I don't want to be rude about this, but the
I
companies that
do.
always do this are
It's
always
no.
foreign companies every single time. They can't speak English. That's why they're texting. Even when I talk to them on the phone, it's chopped up English. And I'm just like, I'm so irritated by that point in time. I'm just like, this is a scam. You guys don't
But
understand what you're doing is scamming people.
they lied that they had another driver.
Mm-hmm.
They lied when they posted the rate. I know,
Yep.
Jay. What makes you the
Shocker.
morality around here? Well, I'm just calling it like I see it. I
Right.
mean, this goes on constantly, and
Yes.
probably they're counting on the because you have a lot of people that got
Mm-hmm.
out. They just had to get out.
Yeah.
See, now you got new people with no insurance or whatever that are
Mm-hmm.
going to fall for this crap.
Yeah.
It's probably normal now just to accept it for $50 less or get
Mm-hmm.
lied to or
Right.
call the customer, right? That's got to
Right.
be the new normal.
Right. Well, I mean, it's with certain companies, and I kind of know who to look for. This was a new one I had never seen before, but when it came up after I'd already seen the first company, and I'd been talking to him since the day before, and all of a sudden I see the same car come up, and I'm still waiting for this first guy to even give me any information because he's like, well, I'm still trying to get a hold of my customer. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. Because now it's on with another company. So I'm sure you're going to keep trying to get a hold of your customer because now they've moved on and everybody's playing the rate game of, oh, I'll do it for this. In fact, I got a really good story to tell after this because this is something
Ooh.
similar to this. And so basically, whoever got this, I guarantee you they did it for 400. I guarantee you they did it for
Oh,
400.
I totally.
Because they
Thank
needed the
you.
load, need to get
Yes.
out, whatever.
This thing
That's what they're
got moved
hoping
for four,
for.
if not 350.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just ridiculous. And then
Yeah.
on top of it, I guarantee you, it probably didn't even move till the next day because they were
Oh,
doing this stupid
and
crap.
the customer's going
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah. Where's my car? Why isn't it moving? I told you I would pay this X amount of money, but they're
But they're
taking
so
more
tired
money.
of being lied to and sitting on the phone, they don't care anymore.
Yep.
Just move the effing car.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
everybody, they know people are desperate. So let's take advantage of the situation. That's the way I always look at it. That's what they're trying to do. So,
And by the way, look at the car, 78 Camaro.
yeah.
Well, they probably just sold it to another guy, right, or something. What do you think this move is? Oh, it's a Copart. So what do they care?
Yeah. Yeah.
So your delivery guy's like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ah,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Go fly a kite, buddy.
Yeah.
It'll get there one of these days. Memphis to Conroe.
So it's
Conroe, I
close to
believe, is
Houston.
north of Houston.
Yeah. 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 And 500 is a good rate. 400 is kind of crappy. I
Well,
wasn't
this
doing
is
it for that.
and this is probably part of the problem, and that's why that 500 was never real to begin with.
No, it's all
No.
a lie. And usually when it's a lie, everything is a lie. There's going to be something else involved that's a lie. Like it's going to
There
have
it
only
is.
one wheel or some shit like that, or
Getting away with whatever you can is the
Yes.
norm in capitalism.
Yes. Yeah.
Welcome to the pessimism channel.
Yeah.
If you're
And
a
usually if
pessimist,
they-
you'll love ATI.
Yeah, well, yeah. And usually when they start on this whole thing, that's usually when I'm like, I'm done. I'm moving on, looking for another load because there's something else more to this whole story. And why bother wasting your time any longer on this? Yeah. Those kind of people irritate me. So let me tell you a story about what happened last
Oh,
week.
cool. Yeah.
This is all during Thanksgiving week, of course. So we were picking up some cars in a little town in Missouri that we were in Paducah. So we had to drive about 100 miles to pick up these two old, they weren't Impalas, but they were a big old car like that. But they were like 64, 68, 70s, something like that. And I don't even know why anybody would buy these things, okay? Oh, Caprices. That's what they were. So we go, so I verify this and I get this guy and he's like, yeah, they're ready to go. One of them is an NOP. I'm like, what? Okay, first off, I was told they both run and drive, which I was leery about. Don't get me wrong. When you see something that old, you sit there and wonder, is it going to run and drive, right? So anyways, so he's like, but they have a forklift there. I said, okay, well, who are you? Well, you're delivering to me. Well, can I get the name and number of the people we're picking up from so that, I can verify everything with them? No, I can't give you that. Okay. He goes, just have your driver call me an hour out and I'll make sure they have everything ready for him. So my driver does that. He shows up and the cars are not even paid for. I'm like, okay, First off, I'm lied to about whether they run and drive. Secondly, now they're not paid for, and he just does the wire right then and there because he wanted to see what these cars look like because he demanded pictures of these cars. Now, we already have these cars on our trailer waiting for this payment to go through, and they're telling him from the bank it could take 48 hours, which technically it can, but usually it takes a couple. But either way, we don't have time to sit there for 2 hours. What the hell's going on? Why are you lying to us about all this stuff? So I call up the broker and I'm chewing ass because, as far as I'm concerned, it's the broker's responsibility to let us know any of this stuff is going on. And he's like, they're paid for. I said, they're not paid for. Well, they did the wire. I said, that does not make them paid for. I said, the guy is not releasing these cars on these two old cars just for $12,000, by the way. Tell me that's not insane. I swear there's 64 Caprices. Anyways, and one of them without a motor. And the guy said, well, I'll call my bank, but if it's not pending or if it's not in my account, I can't release them. And I'm like, I don't blame you. You know, who does this? So we wait there for over an hour, still not there. They keep telling us the cars are paid for. I said, it doesn't, just because your guy paid it does not mean they received the money. And they're like, well, yeah, it does. I said, no, it does not. They said they're calling their bank. They haven't gotten the money. They're not releasing the cars. He's telling us to take the cars off our damn trailer and get the hell out of here. I mean, that's exactly what the guy said. He's tired of dicking around with it too. And I don't blame him. It's not his fault. And so we unload everything. And I call up the broker and I said, we need a dry run fee. I said, this is ridiculous. Not only were we lied to about their run and drive, I said, we were never given the correct number to call to verify that they were ready, and you guys refused to do that. And they said, okay, I'll get back to you. Okay, yeah, you know what that means, right? So an hour later, my driver calls and said, they just called me and they're finally paid for. What do you want me to do? I said, well, how far away are you? And he's like, an hour. And I said, well, I got to get more money out of this because I said, this is ridiculous. I said, you know, $50 ain't going to do it. That didn't even cover your fuel to drive back on, let alone all the time we've messed with this stupid thing. And this on a holiday week when we're trying to get home too, you know. So I call up the broker and the broker, I'm like, I need to know now. I said, my driver, if drives any further, I'm not going back. 10 minutes passed. Of course, nobody calls, so I have to call back. And well, he said he'll agree to $50 more. I said, that's not enough money. I said, $50 doesn't even cover the gas in diesel to go back the hour. I said, I need more than that, let alone the time. And he's like, well, you have to ask the customer for more money. I'm like, really? So I call up that guy, and the guy's like, no, I told him $50 more. If you can get $50 more out of the broker, then so be it. Because he didn't care. What does he care, right? So I call back the broker, and they're like, well, can you do it for 25? And no. I said, look, I really want to say I'm going to give you people a negative because this is ridiculous. I said, not only were we lied to about whether the condition of the cars, not only were we lied to about the payment on the cars, now you're asking us to drive back. I said, this is ridiculous. This is all your guys' responsibility. I'm not asking for anything unreasonable. And get this, they were getting a $150 broker fee. So they just didn't want to give up $50 of their broker fee. Tell me how ridiculous that was. So I finally said, you just either do it or I'm out. And I'm talking to them very crossly, shall we say. I'm not going to say what I really want to say, but anyways. And he's like, okay, we'll do it. And I'm like, change it. I'm sending my driver now. Because you know what they told me first? Just send your driver back there. We'll get it all worked out. I'm like, no, thank you. We'll wait to get this all taken care of first. So he did actually get it. But that's beside the point. That was like, I want to say it's a newer broker, and they were from California. And I'm going to say again, they barely spoke English. And yeah.
I can't imagine. I'm going to take a swipe right now. You know, I occasionally, and I swiped right on the, you know, starting up a brokerage. I can't imagine starting a brokerage now and having to learn how to just lie and be shady. I mean, how else are you going to grow your new brokerage?
Yeah.
And you think it's going to be so great, and you're counting money and riding on jets because those are the videos that are being put out there. Wow, it's horrible what new brokers are putting themselves, like literally stripping their soul away each day on the phone over $50. I mean, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, go work in food service or drive a forklift or something.
Yeah.
Do not spend your day just lying to people. I can't even understand.
I don't either.
I can't believe it. Here's a question. All right, what size trailer did your guy have?
3-car.
Okay. And 2 of them were these guys.
Caprices, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my question is, why did he ever leave the location while this was all being waited to be figured out?
Because we had already been there for over an hour, and the guy finally told us to get out of there. He said, take my cars off your trailer and get out of here. I'm not dealing with this anymore.
But he left with the cars on the trailer, right?
No.
Oh, he did leave them.
Oh, yeah, he took them off,
but
and
he
we
hadn't
left.
been paid.
Well, not us. The guy that they bought the 2 cars from had never been paid. They had never shown up in his account. So technically, like he said, I'm not giving you these cars until they're paid.
Yeah,
So,
but he did leave them there. He got them off the trailer.
at the place where we were
Even though
at.
payment hadn't been...
Yeah, and then he
sorted
called us
out.
an hour later, and my driver drove back and picked him up from the same guy that night.
Oh, he had to go back and pick them up?
Well, that's why I got extra money out of him. That's what the fight was about. Otherwise, I still want to give these people negatives because it's their job to disclose all this stuff and help us, and there was no helping. No helping.
Well, one of the things that happened is my mind started to wander to... I remember I was a dispatcher, and the guy, the delivery, the buyer, he was driving to Western Union
to pay
while my guy is around the corner to deliver. And I'm like, you're driving to Western Union now?
Oh my God.
The guy's about to deliver.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm okay. I'll be there in like 45 minutes. I'm like, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
What? I remember early on, I was thinking, what is going on here? What?
Yeah.
How is this possible? I guess it's like, the cable guy is knocking on the door, and you're coming home from the airport. Hold on, I'll be there. What are you doing? Why would you think you can time things like this?
I don't know, but they do that kind of stuff all the crazy time.
I know. That's what blows my mind. That before you get into 100 pounds in the trunk and everything else, listen. The day of your delivery, the day before and the day after, glue yourself to the floor like you're an animal rights activist, okay?
Right.
Don't leave the house for a week. All right? Cancel everything. You're getting a car delivered. As opposed to, well, I got a hair appointment at 2:30. You think you can be here at 3? No. He's going to drive your car through the window of your hair appointment. We're in the final moments here. Just good time, fun stuff. Nearly 4,000 dealerships urge Biden to slow down on the EV push.
Go figure.
Now listen. For the record, I don't like any president. All right? I haven't in decades. So this is not about the president. And I also believe that EVs are inevitability. I mean, I don't know why, but it's going to happen eventually, because of all the DNA, fingerprint, eye scanning, blood swabs. It just makes sense. But it really has been on this fast kick, and it's interesting. 4,000 dealerships urge Biden to slow down on EV push. That's fascinating. And the EPA, don't even get me started. This is my final story today. Tesla Cybertruck claimed to have 11,000-pound towing capacity. Somebody's going to try to haul cars with a Tesla Cybertruck.
Oh, yes, they are.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe it. We haven't seen it. We probably have. We just didn't realize it.
Yeah, it's probably already happening right now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the towing capacity is 3,000 less than originally promised. Not to mention ball bearings in the windows and everything else. I don't know, man. Cybertruck? I guess. I mean, if you're making like a sci-fi movie, like Sci-Fi Auto Transport, maybe.
Yeah.
The F-150 Lightning has a towing of 10,000. The Rivian, I don't even know why. I'd skip Rivian. I don't think Rivian's ready, but whatever. Silverado EV, 10,000 pounds. Not that any of these are really You
Are
know.
any of them really ready?
No,
I mean, really.
no. And they-
I talked to my dealerships and I was talking about buying one. They're like, stay away from them. Just stay away.
yeah.
Wait till they
Well,
figure out their shit is what both of my guys said. Wait till they figure out their shit
yes.
because it ain't right yet.
Well, when you start towing, here's the thing: is this is just the towing capacity,
Right.
but
Right.
when you actually hit the road while towing, until I hear otherwise, it sounds like your charge drops dramatically while you're towing.
Oh, I'm sure.
So
You have to.
yeah, I don't know, man.
Well, so you're saying they can't even carry 11,000 pounds? You said it's 3,000 less than that?
Well, it was supposed to be 14,
Oh, so you're saying it's 11.
and it's
Well,
11.
that ain't gonna. Was that gonna be a one-car trailer with one vehicle?
Well, that's exactly what we're talking about. I mean,
That's it. That's all you're gonna do.
you know, I guess.
And you're right. Whatever, like if you get 4 hours out of a tank, you're gonna probably get 2, right?
It's
'Cause you're
just
doubling it.
It's gonna get weird.
It is. I
You
agree.
know, and what's really weird with like in Total Recall with the Robo Taxi,
Yeah.
nobody could have predicted that range anxiety would be such an issue.
Right.
I mean, right? And
Right.
that's I guess that's why EV and battery sound so awesome. But your flashlight runs out.
Right.
If you like, I have battery powered portable lights. And if I turn them all the way up
Right.
to their brightest,
Yeah.
they die fast.
Oh yeah. They're done though.
If I put them on medium to high, they last a heck of a lot longer. So you go over here, you're towing at your max capacity, your battery's done, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And how long is that battery gonna last in the real world doing this?
Yeah, well, there you go, exactly.
I mean, what are they lasting in an actual Tesla? And then they're like,
Well, and then to replace a battery,
10
oh
grand.
man.
yeah,
It's like, yeah.
10 grand.
Jeez.
And that's if you're lucky it didn't burn to the ground in between.
Oh no, Sue. Oh.
Oh,
Where
come
was I?
on.
Oh, boo. Send in your comments, autotransportintel@gmail.com. I'm Jay. She's Sue. Get the podcast. It's a great way to consume it. It's the Car Should Be Business channel. Thanks so much for watching live or on demand or jumping in the live chat. Thanks so much, Vance and Peach and Rob. Right, what's the distance? 25 miles? I know. And we're not, we're just sharing the news
Our
and
thoughts.
speculation. and then some terrible stories in between. So thank you so much for another great show. We'll see you next Thursday. And let's plug next Thursday. What do I have next Thursday? Next Thursday is it's Michael with Peach Transport. Michael's
cool.
going to be on the show. Peach Transport in the live chat. That's Michael. He's on the show next Thursday.
Sweet.
Oh, cool. That'll be awesome. All right, Michael. We'll get your camera and your microphone and your batteries all set for another great show on Dispatching Live. All right. Thank you so much. What do we say, office?
What do we say, office? Goodbye, Sue.
Goodbye, Sue. Thanks, everybody, so much. We'll see you next time. Peace out.
See you guys. Thank
All right.
you.
Bye.